Hello student, this is another important video on Muslim law and we have already discussed about what are the important questions for preliminary examination. In this video we are going to discuss what are the important questions which may be asked in various state judiciary examination for mains. So we are going to discuss about, as we remember that Muslim law is not completely a codified law. So we need to understand what are the important concepts which we need to go through. Because अगर आपको एक important concept पे clarification हो गया तो आप एक proper answer draft कर पाओगे. So today I am taking this task that when any kind of question is usually asked, suppose that when we deal with the mains answer for Muslim law, Uttarakhand, UP, Haryana, Delhi, these are the preferably these are the states which are usually asking huge number of questions from Muslim law. लेकिन क्वेश्चंस पर हमारा एक माइंडसेट ये जाता है कि मुस्लिम लॉ में क्वेश्चंस फ्रेम कैसे करते हैं, क्या पूछा जाता है, किस तरीके के क्वेश्चन फ्रेम होते हैं, किन कॉन्सेप्ट पर रेगुलरली क्वेश्चन पूछे जा रहे हैं. कई सारे कॉन्सेप्ट तो ऐसे हैं जिसपे हम लगातार उस पर वर्क कर रहे हैं बट क्वेश्चन पूछे नहीं जाते. तो यहाँ पर हम एक वाइडर अप्रोच लेंगे कि ये कौन से वो कॉन्सेप्ट है मुस्लिम लॉ में जहां से रिपीटेडली वेरियस स्टेट एग्जामिनेशन में क्वेश्चन पूछे जा रहे हैं. अगर फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन आई एम गोइंग टू रिफर हियर, दैट वुड बी नेचर ऑफ मुस्लिम मैरिज. यहां से हमेशा क्वेश्चन पूछा जाता है कि मुस्लिम मैरिज इज अ सिविल कॉन्ट्रैक्ट. इफ इट इज अ सिविल कॉन्ट्रैक्ट देन क्रिटिकली इवेल्युएट द स्टेटमेंट, राइट? इट्स मीन दैट यू नीड टू गो थ्रू द नेचर ऑफ मुस्लिम मैरिज, बिकॉज व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट द नेचर ऑफ मुस्लिम मैरिज इन द इंट्रोडक्शन यू शुड डिफाइन द मुस्लिम मैरिज विच हैज बीन गिवन बाय वेरियस जरिस्ट, जैसे कि जस्टिस सुलेमान है या रहीम है. these are the important jurists. Similarly, in addition to this, you can quote very important judgment of Privy Council, that is Muhammad Qadir versus Salima 1886. उस जजमेंट में कोर्ट ने क्लियरली बताया that Muslim marriage is having most of the qualities like contract. राइट तो यहाँ पर आप उन स्टेटमेंट को भी लिखोगे बट सडनली यू विल हैव टू इवेल्युएट, तो यू विल हैव टू पुट योर ओन ओपिनियन एज अकॉर्डिंग टू द जूरिस्ट. सम अदर्स दिस इज दैट मुस्लिम मैरिज में the meher is not a consideration. Meher is actually a token of respect. So when the meher is a token of respect, how could you say that it's a contract? Because for a contract it is very essential to have the consideration, but the meher is not a consideration, meher is simply a token of respect. So you can evaluate these points and then conclude it. Secondly, you will move toward the another important question which is usually asked from classification of Sunnis and Shia. We remember, student, that there are two categories of sect in the Muslims. One that is Sunni law, other that is Shia. Although that is true in that in Sunnis we have some classification, some sect category also, and other in the Sunnis some other categories. But Sunni and Shia may in related to the three important concepts in terms of marriage, in terms of divorce, in terms of meher, plus in terms of succession. What are the difference between these two? तो सुन्नी और शिया जो सेक्ट है मुस्लिम लॉ का, इसमें आपको मैरिज पर, डोवर, डिवोर्स और सक्सेशन पर डिफरेंशिएट करके उनको बताना है. दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन. व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट द क्लासिफिकेशन यू शुड गो थ्रू द डिफरेंस ऑफ दिस लॉ. Third important question is, this is usually asked from the concept of dover in Arabic, which is said that dover means meher. Students, define meher. When this question is asked, it means that you are expected to give the definition by various jurists. अगर किसी जूरिस्ट ने मेहर को डिफाइन किया है, डोवर को डिफाइन किया है, तो यू नीड टू पुट इट. इट्स मीन दैट ऑल द स्टूडेंट्स आर एक्सपेक्टेड टू लर्न द डेफिनेशन ऑफ डोवर by various jurists. There are at least one or two definition you need to go through. Then explain the various kinds of dover. Dovers are obviously classified into prompt dover and deferred. मेहर मिस्ल and मेहर मुजम्मल. तो मुजम्मल और मुअज्जल जो भी अरबिक वर्ड्स इसके यूज करते हैं इस पर. सेकेंडली, द सेकेंड पार्ट ऑफ दिस क्वेश्चन आई हैव टेकन फॉर यू इज दैट डिस्कस द वाइफ्स राइट्स for non-payment of dover. In case wife is not paid the dover which is deferred, what are the important rights which has been given to the women who is Muslim to recover the dover amount? तो आपसे यहाँ पर भी क्वेश्चन पूछा जाता है and for that purpose you should go through some important case laws. There is a list of important case laws which talks about the right of women, how this women who has the right to get the dover is entitled to get the amount. Means she can file the suit, Yes, she can bring the suit against LR also. The answer is yes. Whether she can retain the possession of the property while he is not entitled to take this property as a owner. The answer is yes. So means यहाँ पर जितने भी राइट है इस विमेन के टू रिकवर द अमाउंट ऑफ डोवर उनको आपको मेंशन करना है प्लस important case laws, because otherwise this answer will not be completed. Now next question is, who is entitled to claim maintenance? मेंटेनेंस को क्लेम करने के लिए कौन से वो लोग हैं जो अंडर मुस्लिम लॉ मेंटेनेंस को क्लेम करते हैं? इट्स मीन दैट under the Muslim law, similar to the Hindu Adoption and Maintenance Act, there are various person who can claim maintenance from the Muslim person. The father, the mother, the daughter, the son, and other etc etc, the wife. तो यहाँ पर आपको बताना है कि कौन से वो लोग हैं जो मुस्लिम मैरिजेस मुस्लिम लॉ में मेंटेनेंस क्लेम कर सकते हैं. The second part of this question is very important. It may be asked separately too. Usually it is asked separately because right of maintenance of a Muslim woman who is divorced is separately in itself is a very very important concept. For that purpose you should go through various case laws. Remember student, when we talk about the right of maintenance of a Muslim woman on divorce, you should start from Shah Bano case, because Shah Bano case is the landmark judgment, the beginning judgment from which the court started that the Muslim women has the right to get maintenance even after the iddat period, right? So the main complex issue was that to what extent Muslim women is given the right to get maintenance. Under the Muslim law, generally she can claim the maintenance till the duration of iddat period, which means to say isolation period from society. But from the case laws of Shah Bano, it was extended to the more than iddat period. Then the law was passed which was Muslim Women's Rights of Divorce Act. तो यहाँ पर इस लॉ को भी आप यहाँ मेंशन करोगे, उस लॉ के प्रोविजन बताओगे. Then you should put some other case laws like Daniel Latifi judgment, right? There are other judgments, and recently in 2024 another important progress has been made that the women is having the right to choose forum. She can move for section 125 of CRPC. She can move for this law, and she is having entitled to get compensation which needs to be adequate. Next question would be, what are the protections available to the Muslim women's wife under this act? As I said to you in this question also, कि after Shah Bano, to nullify the effect of this judgment, this law has been passed in the year of 1986. So might be possible that examiner is expected to know some more detailed information about this law, कि कौन से वो rights हैं जो Muslim women को इस law में मिले हैं, right? Although that is true that after this law there are various judgments which are progressively providing in the same line which is given under Shah Bano judgment. Now we will go for another important questions for mains answer writing, that would be divorce. How is divorce is effected under the Mohammedan law? Discuss briefly the modes of divorce. Remember student, divorce, which in Arabic word called talaq, this is also another important topic which जहाँ पर आपसे expect किया जाता है that you should know the classification of talaq. Talaq hasan, talaqi ahsan, talaqul biddat also. These are the Arabic word which I am using here. तो यहाँ पर divorce Muslim law में कैसे effected होती है? क्वेश्चन जनरल है, बट यू नीड टू गो फॉर तलाक वर्ड विच लिटरल वर्ड, जहां पर आपको प्रॉपरली तलाक को डिवोर्स को मुस्लिम लॉ में क्लासिफाई करना है. बट दैट वुड नॉट बी सफिशिएंट, यू शुड गो फॉर डिटेल्ड डिस्कशन ऑन दिस मोड. डिस्कस ब्रीफली द मोड्स ऑफ डिवोर्स. और प्लीज रिमेंबर स्टूडेंट, यहाँ पर एक क्वेश्चन आपसे एड ऑन किया जा सकता है कि व्हाट आर द राइट्स ऑफ मुस्लिम विमेन टू सीक डिवोर्स अंडर मुस्लिम लॉ, whether if there any, or what new rights has been introduced by the act of 1939. तो आपको डिवोर्स पर मुस्लिम लॉ में तलाक में यूनिलेटरल राइट्स थे हस्बैंड के पास, but there were just two limited rights when the women can claim the divorce under the Muslim law. But under this law, that is Muslim women's, dissolution of Muslim Marriage Act 1939, there are totally nine grounds were provided to the Muslim women to seek divorce, right? तो इसको भी आप तैयार करो, इसको important question है जहां पर आप इसको बनाओगे divorce पर, because Shara Bano judgment 2017 तक we have lot of development in this concept of divorce. तो आप एक properly notes बनाओगे जो divorce तलाक पर होगा with recent judgments of Supreme Court. Another important judgment is what is preemption. Preemption क्या है and who can claim preemption, and explain the formalities to be observed in the assertion of the right of preemption. Preemption is also a very important right in your property. If the person is going to sell his property, whether the person who is his neighbor, whether the person who is his brother is having the right of priority to purchase this property or not, this is actually the right of preemption. तो right of preemption under Muslim law is itself a unique concept. इसको आप पढ़ोगे, then कौन कौन claim कर सकता है, और सबसे important चीज preemption के लिए कुछ important formalities हैं that needs to be done. So there are three kinds of demand, three stages of basically demands which needs to be adopted. After that this preemption का right complete होता है. So that is what आपका एक इस पे भी क्वेश्चन इंपॉर्टेंट बनता है, प्रियम्पशन का राइट, इस पर फॉर्मेलिटीज, इज देयर एनी केस लॉ, इवन देन समटाइम इट इज आल्सो वेदर द राइट ऑफ प्रियम्पशन कैन बी क्लेम्ड बाय हिंदू आल्सो इन द प्रॉपर्टी ऑफ मुस्लिम, यू कैन से यस और नो. तो इस पे आप प्रॉपर्ली डिटेल्ड क्वेश्चन बनाओगे. अनदर क्वेश्चन इज इलुसिडेट द डॉक्ट्रिन ऑफ मुशा. व्हाट आर द एक्सेप्शन टू द डॉक्ट्रिन ऑफ मुशा? Right, musha means the right in the joint property. Whenever we are dealing with the property which is a joint property between two or more persons, whether the person can transfer this property which is a musha property. Though there are some rules are provided under the Muslim law, what principles need to be followed dealing with the musha property in terms of transfer, either by gift or will. So this is another important topic of musha. इसके बाद नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन जो मैं ले रही हूं आपके लिए जो कि इंपॉर्टेंट है, दैट इज गिफ्ट. रिमेंबर स्टूडेंट, यहाँ पर गिफ्ट को आप हिबा बोलते हो अंडर द मुस्लिम लॉ. तो यहाँ पर आपसे पूछा जाता है कि अंडर द मुस्लिम लॉ द हिबा विच इज सिंपली सेज टू बी गिफ्ट, व्हाट आर द इसेंशियल एलिमेंट्स अंडर मुस्लिम लॉ. अब जब आप इसको लिखते हो, यू शुड गो फॉर ट्रांसफर ऑफ प्रॉपर्टी एक्ट सेक्शन 122 वेयर ऑल्सो गिफ्ट इज गिवन. रिमेंबर स्टूडेंट, द फॉर्मेलिटीज टू अ वैलिड गिफ्ट अंडर द ट्रांसफर ऑफ प्रॉपर्टी एक्ट इज डिफरेंट from the formalities under hiba of Muslims, right? Because there needs to be just three rules under Muslim law. One that is one that is declaration, and second that is acceptance, and third one that is delivery of possession. If all these three conditions are fulfilled, you can say that it is a lawful, valid gift or hiba. It means that it is not required to be writing, it is not required to be witnessed by person, it is not to be registered. Remember student, there are still now exceptions through case laws. Under the Muslim law, if the gift is already in the written form attested, then it's to be required to be registered also. This is held by the case laws of the Supreme Court and the various High Court. So you should go through it कि हिबा जो गिफ्ट है मुस्लिम लॉ में उसके क्या रूल्स हैं. Then we are going toward the another important question which is general principle of inheritance under the Sunni law. रिमेंबर स्टूडेंट, जब भी हम सक्सेशन पे डिस्कशन करेंगे, सक्सेशन विच इज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ मुस्लिम लॉ, देन we need to go through that Sunnis and Shia both are having some different rules to apply the rule of succession. It's mean that कि जो Sunnis के रूल हैं वो जो Shia के रूल्स हैं, they are having some different rules. तो for that purpose आपसे क्वेश्चन में क्या पूछा गया है, आपसे सिर्फ सुन्नी से रिलेटेड जनरल प्रिंसिपल पूछे गए हैं, बट यूजुअली एग्जामिनेशन में आपसे डिफ्रेंशिएट भी करा लेते हैं उत्तराखंड यानी यूपी जुडिशरी, तो आपसे डिफ्रेंशिएट करा सकते हैं. Delhi judiciary and Haryana judiciary is also inclined toward the succession general principle, so you need to go for that. And the last one which I am dealing here in this slide, that is डिफाइन करिए आप विल को, एंड व्हाट आर द लिमिट्स ऑन द टेस्टामेंटरी पावर ऑफ मुस्लिम. रिमेंबर स्टूडेंट, वी आर हैविंग टू काइंड्स ऑफ ट्रांसफर, दैट one that is testamentary, other that is non-testamentary. When we discuss about the testamentary transfer, it means it will be applied after the death of the person who is transferring. तो इसी का एक एग्जाम्पल है दैट इज विल, जिसको कि आप मुस्लिम लॉ में अरबिक वर्ड में कहते हो वसीयत. तो यहाँ पर आपसे क्वेश्चन पूछा जाता है द रूल्स रिलेटेड टू विल और वसीयत अंडर मुस्लिम लॉ, आप इसको डिस्कस करो, विल को डिफाइन करो. एंड सेकेंडली द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट वन इज दैट कि जो विल होता है मुस्लिम लॉ में, उसमें कौन सी लिमिटेशन या रिस्ट्रिक्शन हैं. तो इफ देयर आर एनी लिमिटेशन और रिस्ट्रिक्शन, आपको उसको हाईलाइट करना है. सो यू नीड टू गो थ्रू दैट देयर इज अ रूल ऑफ 1/3, इट नीड्स टू बी followed with the rules of succession. One cannot make the will of whole property by bypassing the rights of the legal representative, legal heirs of the person. So these are the important questions which I was dealing with you of the Muslim law. I hope that you have gone through these questions. Start drafting these answers because these are the important questions and concept जहाँ पर सारा concept revolve होता है. So you should go through it, draft the question and draft it in a proper way with introduction, main body and conclusion. Thanks for watching this video.